It's always good to start a video off with a bang, and there could hardly be an easier way of doing that than with this stuff. What we have here is a contact explosive called nitrogen triiodide. It's a highly unstable substance that detonates when disturbed. Now, you might have heard of nitroglycerin, which is another kind of contact explosive, which goes off when you hit it with a hammer, but this stuff is in a league of its own. Even something like a mosquito landing on it will set it off. Everyone else would probably say that it's liable to fall apart. One of the characteristic products of this reaction is this beautiful plume of purple iodine gas. And you can see this again if I chuck this tiny piece of solid iodine onto this hot plate. Now, this iodine is formed along with nitrogen gas as a result of all those triiodide molecules falling to pieces and recombining into a different arrangement. And it's this recombination that releases all of the energy, setting off more triiodide molecules and more in a chain reaction that races through the rest of the substance, decomposing all of the molecules and releasing a huge amount of energy in a tiny fraction of a second. Now, we filmed this same reaction with a high-speed camera so that we can see just how fast it really is.
Today I'm going to be using some gallium metal, which turns into a liquid at around 30 degrees C, and I'm going to be putting it into these moulds to try and make something which looks like Lego. These moulds, it came in these plastic tubes which I heated up in warm water, then tipped out into the bowl to make nice and molten. Because it's heavier than the water, it sinks to the bottom. I sucked it up in a syringe and removed any water, then filled up the moulds. I had to melt down a lot more gallium because I used quite a lot, and I didn't have quite enough to fill this blocks tray. It's quite fun to do, and they look amazing and shiny, so I was really hoping they'd turn out well. I left them to cool down. And it came out absolutely brilliantly. They're nice and heavy, shiny, and you can really see all the detail. Pretty cool, huh? This mould made me 8 little figures. Some of them came out slightly better than others, but they were all really good. Next thing was to look at the blocks. You can see a couple of notches on the top didn't actually form properly. I actually found the same problem with all the blocks I made. The gallium just didn't flow properly into the edges. But it doesn't really matter, they still look quite good. So I've got a nice big pile of metal figures and blocks. And of course, because they're made out of gallium, I've got to try melting some.
It's a very weird liquid, this. On the scale of 1 ton of weirdness, this comes about 433. Is it the blood of some strange machine, you ask? So this stuff is very odd. It's called a ferrofluid, or a magnetic liquid. And what's happening here is there's a magnet down there and a bolt which the magnetic field is being channeled through. And the liquid is reacting to the magnetic field. That's really odd. Not many liquids do that. because this liquid's got tiny nanoparticles.
That's the sound of your phone connecting to a charger.